Pretty good, sir.
Chad is right there.
Chat. So, Jason said he would make him see. Yeah. No, Jason, about a year. Yeah, sure. Yes.
He won't leave. He shows up. When he works 6 in the morning and he's there till 6 at night every day. Yes. Yep. They can't get him to not be there.
Yeah.
He works more days than he's supposed to. He doesn't represent any person. What he's got you guys for? Yeah, that's what I thought. He's trying to do it all himself, though.
Yeah. How you doing today? How you rating this weather?
It's really big.
John.
Another week.
Oh, you did not see it, sir?
I didn't know.
Not what I think.
Hey, no. I used to deal. I need to buy a better camera. I need to buy a better camera.
With home. It's probably the contrast too with the light, but if you turn that light off, it could be better. Oh. Shake hands, slap. Everybody differently. You want me to throw them down? Try and say, yeah.
Yeah, that helps.
He's not coming out here.
Is that what you want there, Shane?
Yeah, just trying to get on the more line and declares.
Okay.
Eight of those.
You're good to go, man.
All right, guys, I'm Cody with Kemper Northwest. I'm the lead tech for Kemper. Today we're gonna go over the Omni panel and just start off with anybody have any questions about the Omni panel? Like, what do you guys want to know today? I'm sure a lot of you have Omni panels or are interested in getting them. And I think the best way to go over the class is to answer people's questions and let them play with the Omni panel itself. So does anybody have a question or want to know something about the Omni panel to get us started? Yes, sir.
How can I run just the oil pump?
Just the oil pump. Okay, so I think the best way to just to run the oil pump is if you want to see the pressure and the slide valve, things like that. It's actually, you can go to configuration here, sensors. And just go like you're going to calibrate the slide valve.
Okay.
So then you can turn the oil pump on right here. and you can load it, unload it, and you can also scroll through here and see your pressures.
Copy.
Another way to do it, to run the oil pump, is to come in here to service, where it's gonna show your slices, okay? And you come in here to one digital output, click on that, and you're gonna have oil pump motor start. So you can click that to manual. It won't let me do it right now because
Are you logged in?
Yeah.
it's because of these stuff. But you click that to manual, and then you can toggle this on and off the oil pump.
Copy.
This is also where you would bump check the motor for the compressor. So if you change out the motor, you want to bump check it with an uncoupled, you click, this says compressor motor start right here. And there's some arrows making a circle here, you click it. And then you have to come over here and click this one more time, and it's gonna run it for 30 seconds. And you can stop it or let it run full 30 seconds. So that's
All that has
another
to be
way.
accessed through service mode though, right?
Yeah, you have to
logged
be,
into
you have to be
service.
logged into service mode to do those things.
You guys know the password for service?
Yeah, actually, yeah, that's the only one I use.
Okay.
Okay.
What is it for us? You may not know.
123654. That's the default password for service. Anybody else have any other questions that'd like to know about the Omni panel and? Yes, sir.
Well, I haven't been formally introduced to it. I mean, everything I've learned was just from this person or that person. That's what I was talking to Chad about.
Okay,
Maybe we could talk to Lance and maybe go through and show us a little bit more about it.
yeah, no problem. So you have two different versions of the screen here. You got the main version, which is gonna show a lot more analog digital data. And you also have the classic version. Not sure why it's not loading up right now, actually. There you go. It's just gonna show gauges, slide valve percentage, so some simple stuff right there. This right here is where your operating data is. This is gonna show your digital and analog. You can edit this to see only what you wanna see.
That's what I was about to ask, is how do you edit that?
So there's a button right here.
I mean,
Edit grid.
what I want is the stuff that's on my log sheet, right?
Yeah. So you go to
Should go up there.
edit grid.
Yeah, touch the screen.
Yeah. They'll everybody touch it and play with it too. But you go to edit grid here and you can scroll through what they have. And check mark. There's a
Where
lot,
did you get the edit grid from?
right here. So let's say
You're in service mode?
I'm in service mode.
Okay.
We're on the home screen here, just like you can see if you're running. You can see where it says edit grid.
Yep.
You click on that
Okay.
and you can select the log.
Right.
What you wanna see.
Well, just I can give you
The
data.
check mark is only using
what I'm asking.
Yeah,
Is it check mark leaving?
check mark leaves it, leaves it on the screen.
Right, so if I wanna get rid of it, I can, okay, and I just get rid of check.
And you can make it where it's small, as or as many things as you want on there. And you'll just like say,
The other way, starting the oil one. Because I know the other way, the last way you showed it, but way back there, I couldn't see it.
So the best way to do it is sensors. And you go like you're gonna calibrate. It's showing right here. You can run. Then you can load it on. But what I like about this feature doing it this way, you can scroll up here, you can see what your oil pressure is.
Mostly, I'm just looking to circulate the clean started.
Yeah.
That's all they got?
You know, you can do that here and you can make sure your pump's primed, so you can watch the pressure. Yeah. There's that.
At least you can see the screen.
You also calibrate. We can calibrate pressure.
How do I tell? How do I tell if I'm in a default programming or a customized programming?
What do you mean by,
In other words, as far as what the parameters are and all that kind of stuff, I mean, you know.
as far as like changing parameters on like this screen here.
You know, when we're talking like tell, like, let's say we had an extended power outage. And I want to know whether or not the parameters are the same as if you want to shut down.
Okay, so basically what you would do is you just, you just scroll, these are control parameters right here.
Yeah.
This is where you can set your suction set points.
Right.
Motor set points, what control mode you're in.
Right, but it has a default setting, right?
Yes, so it's going to. I don't exactly know where it would store the default settings at.
Okay.
If you lost your configuration.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
probably
that's
need
how
to
I
reach
do it.
out to GEA. They could,
Okay.
they have it all on file.
And
And actually,
they
these
can email
panels,
it
they
to
have
you.
the flash drive in them.
And
So-
yeah, a lot of them have flash drive in it too.
There's a flash drive in here that's gonna have everything that it came from the factory
Okay.
uploaded on. And then I like to, whenever we do like retrofit or a new compressor startup, plug the flash drive in. And I can show you how you can back up those set points.
Okay.
So there's, you go and, in the program and you can download the update off the flash drive, and you can also update back up the configuration to the flash drive.
Okay.
And you can do it to the panel locally also. So that way, if you do lose them, you just plug it in, back it up, and it goes.
How long?
But as far as it
How
giving
long
you
would it
a,
take being deprived of power before it loses those settings?
that depends on the battery. So in the processor, in the back of here, it's gonna have a 2032 battery in it.
Okay.
And if that battery is dead
Mhm.
and it's down for an extended period of time, you're going to lose some of the configuration.
Right, okay.
We have the thumb drive in the, yeah,
Do we?
books, we have two books.
If you do ever lose it, the GEA should have it on file.
Yeah, and there's if you open the door, like Tony's saying, there's a contract number on the door. You just
Okay.
supply them that contract number. They can
No.
give you everything that they've shipped it out.
Put it up with a phone call, copy.
Yeah.
On this,
Well, thank you very much. You've answered a lot of my questions.
thanks.
Anybody else want to play with it? Ask questions?
I've got one that I've heard before, so what's the little blue thing on the side valve?
So the blue one, okay, so from what I've learned from GEA is the blue one is like what it wants its capacity to be at. Like its optimal capacity for that set point. And the white runs up to the blue. So the blue will change or it'll be more or less. This is basically saying like, I want you to be there.
Isn't that an indicator of VI as well?
That's what I thought it was.
Yeah, so the V and the VI moves with the slide valve.
Yeah.
So, but it's the white's gonna match the blue, right? Because the blue's moving with the VI. It wants the slide valve.
Like a variable VI machine. I've heard
Match
that.
that.
I've heard people see that and kind of get thrown off by that. They're like,
Oh, I
man,
know, it's.
my
it's not
machine
loaded
was
all the
hundred
way.
percent loaded, yeah, but it doesn't show it, you know?
And you can set these things for all kinds of different machines. You can run them on a Micom, you can run them on a Frick. Kobe's, you can put them on basically everything. Only thing I haven't seen one on is a recip compressor, so. I don't know. That would be a question for GEA. I've never had experience putting one on a recip compressor. But that would be go into configuration. You go over here. This is where you would have to have the admin password. And these panels, they come from the factory with the 2 weeks of admin, but as soon as it sees motor amps is when it starts a 2-week countdown. So as soon as you start this panel, you're gonna have a 2-week countdown of admin access to change things. After that, you gotta reach out to GEA, give them the contract number, and then they're gonna give you their special password to do it, and it's only gonna work one time. But you can come in here and you can change a lot of stuff. You can basically take this panel off one compressor and go put it on another one and reconfigure it to run it. You had to. You can change either your potentiometer, you're running a potentiometer, you're running the 420, different compressor types, fixed VI, continuous VI. There's all kinds of different opportunities in here. How many different capacity control set points you want?
But you do have to have that admin key, right?
Yeah, you have to have the admin key, which this panel is a new panel, so we can have the admin key as long as we don't see motor amps. It's not gonna find out the admin key. But there's lots of different set points. You can customize this thing in a lot of ways. You can change your heater powers, motor current, whether you run a CT 4 to 20. Like that. So these panels come, like this is a stock panel for Kemper. If you want to do communications, this panel is gonna be set up for Ethernet IP. You can do serial RS-485. You just have to have it's called a U2 module. It's another little module that mounts on the DIN rail that you can wire serial communications into. But unless you custom order it to have serial communication through RS-485, it's not gonna come with that module. It's gonna be set up to run Ethernet communications. And then they also have this function called Omni View. If you are running communications to your facility, you can view other compressors and actually start and stop and make changes to other compressors from one compressor. They connect together through Omni Link. And then you can make adjustments and things instead of having to walk around, do your rounds. You want to stand here at one compressor and pull up compressor 2. You can sit there and look right at compressor 2.
How do you do that?
So you have to have communication.
Unless they're networked, you can't do it. So there's gotta be a Cat5 cable that goes compressor to compressor, or it's gotta be networked to a switch.
All right, so it's probably not gonna be.
If you don't have a control system, it's very easy to run Cat5 between the several panels. And use this as a control system. You enter one set point and it'll be the master and it'll control all the rest of it.
Yeah,
Has to be configured, but it can do that.
and he's talking about that's the like you could compressor sequence basically to where like this is the master and the rest of them will be the slaves. And you can set up the compressor sequencing to come on.
So it sort of
hands.
eliminates the need for a centralized control system.
To run your compressors?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't have a centralized, refrigeration control system, it's a good opportunity
It can
to
work as
have
a
somewhat of a
sequence.
control system by just linking them all together and
So
using.
you can stage them off of
Yes.
each other, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so. I mean, I ran the first time I was running an instrument, we didn't have a control system.
Mhm.
We didn't have. Electronic panels on the compressors. You know what I mean? We had gauges and, Johnson controls, high cutoff switches and like.
Yeah.
And, I mean, it was the last year I was at that facility, they started installing these. But, if you have a smaller engine room. You might not even need to have, say, like a logic system or an Allen Bradley control system. You can theoretically network these together.
You run your condensers
This,
off
this
it.
panel can be purchased and configured, and it'll actually run your condensers too.
That's awesome.
Cody, I'd like you to take a moment to go through trending to show them what they can trend and the information that they can look back on.
Okay,
Because that's pretty important if we have several shutdowns or we're trying to figure out what's going on with the machine. If it's taking liquid or whatever that is, you can identify issues by looking at the trends.
yeah, so you would go into history right here and you can do like an RX trend, which is gonna show your lines across here. Right now, this one's showing suction, discharge, oil pressure, and suction temperature. Those are all editable. You can edit the view down here and you can choose from many different options. You want to watch your motor amps, you want discharge temp, oil temp, anything like that. You can show that you can trend that. You can also see it is the chart mode here, which shows it more of trying to figure out the word for it. Basically, more of a live
The bar graph.
bar graph. And then enunciations. Right here, so you can see all of your shutdowns. You can see the enunciations, you know, like let's say last night it went down on high oil temp. You can click on that. And then you'll see what time it went down. And you can also view it as an RX trend also, and it'll show you the oil temp at that time. And you can see it climb or decrease.
History, right? History?
Yes, yep. The enunciations, but you go to history. History is where you get to that enunciations. Analysis, this is gonna show like a frequent shutdown. Let's say you're shutting down on, you know, low oil temp, high oil temp. It's gonna show you your frequent shutdowns and warnings also. And this is where you generate a report. So if you have, well, you know, one of your refrigeration technicians want you to give them a report, you would go into report here and you can plug a USB drive into that and generate the report. And then that basically means that we can plug it in our computer, we can look at it, we can see what it's doing at that time and try to troubleshoot it just off the report.
Can you show everybody where the documents as far as the GEA manual and
Yep.
and the drawings is at? It's a good troubleshooting tool.
Yeah, so if you go into file manager here on this side, you actually have documentation of like manuals, you know, show you how to calibrate slide valves, some troubleshooting stuff, drawings, wiring diagrams,
It's nice.
everything like that in
Spare
here.
parts.
Spare parts, you just click on which one you want, it'll pull it up. Here, I'll click on one.
If the panel was purchased for the specific machine, spare parts for the screw will be in it. If it's not, that has to be uploaded separately. But if you bought a GEA machine, the panel came with it, all the spare parts are there, including the electrical parts.
I'm not sure why.
If it's a retrofit panel and it was purchased specifically for the machine, that'll all come from the factory all done.
Might be under
if it's-
documentation.
Stock panel, what we call stock panel, we keep panels in stock just in case somebody needs something. We can configure them. They won't have your specific machine in there. That would have to be loaded later.
And that was in documents?
Yes,
Yeah, under documents, but not sure what I'm missing here where it's not pulling it up. So this will tell you, you know, the configuration version it's in and right here in the beginning. There's other ways to see that also. But analog data, panel information. Basically, everything about this panel is gonna be in the documents. And it's already, these documents are set up to this panel with this contract number. And with Omni, they do some different things with panels that are ordered specific to that package. So these drawings might not reflect to compressor one down the hall, you know, if that one's ordered specifically to that package. Sometimes they have it wired in a different spot, but that is going to be loaded on this panel, on the panel for each machine, specifically to the application that it's using.
so you can show him the terminal strip on the side, inside the panel coating. This specific panel is designed to handle all situations, liquid injection, thermal siphon, whatever. It's got the additional relays in it so that we can configure the panel to anything we want. So this is one of our stock panels. You may not get that on a panel that we order specifically for a piece of equipment. But if you guys or somebody is in a situation where they need a replacement panel, this is the panel that we would bring out because it's configurable to everything.
Yeah, so this is the PLC. Right here, these are all the slices. You got the bus coupler, this is the main motherboard to all these PLC slices right here. You got red and green lights on here. Right now, we only have a suction temperature probe and a suction pressure transducer wired in. That's the only two on that are gonna show that they're getting a signal. We also have a potentiometer wired in, which is showing down here that it's getting a signal. This is where all the digital is right here. A mistake I've seen a lot of people make is when they're trying to add, like, what's this say, an economizer solenoid. And it's 120 volt solenoid. This side, these relays, the coils and the relays are 24 volt. So if you were to wire that solenoid onto this side, you're gonna short it. Okay. Well, what I've seen the most is people try to jump out the high level to do a test run or when they're first, starting a facility, you want to bump check a motor, things like that. I've seen many times where they'll take power from 106A and they'll put it on this side, and which will short it. This side is the 120 volt side. This is your normally open, normally closed side dry contacts, which you can run, 24 volt, 120 volt, whatever you want on that. But this side right here is strictly do not put 120 volts to that 24 volt side.
Can you show how to pop out the little relays in case you gotta change them?
Yeah, so you'll just press this like 5CR right here to the side. And it'll pop out this is an output module. The black ones are outputs, the whites are inputs.
So if you got one that doesn't have any wires landed on it, you can steal it out of there and put it in the one. in the back.
Yeah. And this is the contactor for the oil heater.
If you wired it wrong and blew it up.
The contactor for the oil heater right here. And in most cases, every time I've seen it, somebody put power to this side of 24 volt side. There's a resettable circuit breaker right here, and it'll explode that. And this green light will turn red. It'll start blinking red, which will indicate that this is toast. Yeah. Like I said, these are outputs, these are input. Oil heater contactor. You have separate breakers for the oil heaters. So let's say you have one bad oil heater, you're able to run the other oil heater still. It's not gonna completely out of the circuit. It's gonna trip the breaker on whatever circuit it's landed in.
Now, one of those breakers for the 24 volt circuit as well, right?
Yes, it's actually comes over here off the power supply and it's fused. Yeah. And the circuit breaker right here, a 5 CV is for the 24 volt side. One of these actually doesn't matter. These ones are for the oil heaters. This is the power. The power supply and everything. Yeah, if everybody wants to come up and play with it and mess around with configuration and take a look at it. Oh, another cool thing about the Omni Panel is you go into service mode here, it shows all your slices, okay? If you were to pull a slice out, you see you lost the IO here, okay? Let's still barely make the contact. And it's gonna show that you have an issue within the slices. Another cool thing that I saw, I learned when I was at the GEA school was the guy at the class was trying to mess the panels up. And we had to go in and troubleshoot them and figure out what was wrong with it. And he would take a piece of, pull one of these slices out, put a piece of paper in it, and then put it back in where it looked like it was normal. And it would it'll actually show on here which slice it loses its connection at. So if you pulled, 2AI, which is for slide valve and the temperatures. It would actually end it right here at 2 AI over would be great. So it'd show you that this is where your problem is at 2 AI. And so that's another cool thing that I learned about the slices in general. So
So
feel free to
Cody,
come
can
up
you go
with-
over the setting up control set points? For example, control 1, control 2, control 3, and then they could select which one is operating the machine.
Yeah. So that's gonna be on this side. So you have capacity controls. Let's see, this one's enabled for 3 right now. So
So this would be something like if you guys
had a pump down mode.
were in shutdown and you wanted to change the suction pressure, that you're not in the vacuum anymore and you want to run cold storage and you're only at 7 pounds or something. You could have control 1 or control 2, and all you gotta do is select that. The other part of this is you can actually tell the machine to auto start stop based off of suction pressure.
Yeah. So yeah, like this panel right now is enabled for 3 capacity controls. So basically you have capacity control 1 here, and you can do a control signal. And you can run it off suction pressure, suction pressure as temperature, outlet temperature, inlet temperature, discharge pressure. You have a lot of different things you can actually run the compressor off of. You can run it off of temperature, pressure. Most of you guys, I'm assuming, unless you're running like glycol chillers, you're probably using pressure. A lot of people that run a glycol chiller are going to run their machine off of temperature, and they'll just go off of the outlet temperature of the glycol. So basically you would set that up as set point right here. You have your dead bands, your proportional bands. Those are going to be the range above and below the set point, with which in no capacity control adjustments. So you have a 2 pound, you can be over 2 pounds or under 2 pounds, and it's not gonna make any capacity changes. Those are actually adjustable within 0.1, so you can run it as tight as you want up to the 0.1 PSID. The proportional band range above and below the set point, which within the width of the capacity control pulses, is reduced to avoid overshooting or undershooting the set points. So the proportional band is basically going to be the range within, pulse the load and the unload solenoid to try to maintain that suction pressure as close as it can within. And you can also set that as a minimum of 2 PSID. The automatic start stop. So if you come over here and enable that, you can do it off of set points or offsets. Majority of the time, it's always going to be off of set points, right? So you want to automatic start at 30 pounds, and you want to automatic stop at 5 pounds. Okay. The critical thing about that is to make sure your suction shutdown is below the automatic stop, because if it hits the suction shutdown, it's going to shut down, turn it red, and it will not auto stop. It will not auto cycle back on. You can also adjust the minimum and maximum capacity slide position. You're having an issue with potentiometer or slide valve sticking. I would say at 80%, you can set it to maximum load 75%. On a VFD, you're running this on a drive, which this is set up for a drive right now. You want to run probably like a 20% minimum slide valve. You're not going to want to really run it at 0%. What else we got here? So you go down to control. Control mode is where you can choose between one of those 3 capacity controls. And you can also name them. Forgot to mention that. No, you can let's see. But you can name it capacity, like this is capacity control 1, capacity control 2, capacity control 3. It might take me a second, but I know you can name them. Find it. name. So you click on name right here, and then you can change the name to, we're running line 1, spiral, or we're doing pump down, or we're doing, different applications. So basically you go back into control, that's where you can change that. You can do set point location is local or remote. These actually have the opportunity to start from a digital signal also. You don't have to have it, you could have your control system set a digital start stop command. You just have to enable that. Minimum capacity slide allowed to start. You can have it to where the sequencer overrides local capacity parameters. Let's say you're running like a logic system. Logix is going to override your capacity control parameters from their stager. So here's where you can do stopping and starting sequences. You can unload slide valve and variable speed drive in parallel. This is set up for a VFD. That's what it's going to do. Other option is you can stop compressor immediately. You can unload variable speed drive and slide in series. There's several different options you can choose from there. This is, like I said, set up for a variable VI right now. You can set the VI deadband. You can set the VI operating mode to manual. So if you wanted to see it come down here, you can actually manually load and unload the VI. Here's motor information. It's going to tell you how many starts the motor had. Runtime hours for the motor, and that is also editable. So let's say you put a new motor on and you want to reset the hours to 0, but you want to keep your compressor hours set at 100,000, whatever they're at. You can change compressor or motor runtime hours. It's not an accumulative. This is, it can show if you want to see your kilowatt demand metering ratio, all that stuff. You can set that up with the motor nameplate voltage, nameplate kilowatts and horsepower, and it'll give you an estimated usage. Here's where you adjust motor current. So, when you set this panel up, you need to go take the motor nameplate data and do your service factors, get your FLAs and horsepowers, shutdowns, things like that. That's motor speed. Oil pump, it actually shows your oil pump runtime also. So if you put a new oil pump in, you can reset the runtime on that. You can adjust pre-loop timers. Oil pump run minimum timer, maintain timer. There's you can do a circulation mode. You can enable that. It'll just kick the oil pump on every once in a while. You might be interested in that.
This is if the plant is down for extended periods, we like to keep the bearings in the shaft seal wet. So you could set it up every 24 hours, it'll run for 10 minutes, or every 72 hours, it'll run for 10 minutes. That'll keep all the components wet and keep shaft seals lasting a little longer.
Yeah, we're at a 6-week downtime right now. Yeah,
Yep.
but we're at our facility, and this is something we should.
It's a great feature.
And then over here, you got, your pressure shutdowns, temperature shutdowns, things like that. Some of them are hard configured and can be changed. Some of them can be adjusted. Every one of them is going to have a minimum and a maximum you're allowed to set that. I believe the oil temperature shutdowns, yeah, it's a minimum
Again,
50
this is all
degrees.
accessible through service.
This is all accessible through service, yes.
Right.
With
Operator mode, you have very limited access. You're gonna change suction pressure, maybe. If you don't remember.
Right.
this is oil cooling. So this one is set up for liquid injected oil cooling. So this is where you could come and you can make those adjustments as needed. You can set the minimum valve position of the IntelliSock. You can change it to an auto or manual mode. where you could actually ramp that liquid motorized valve up and down. You can do superheat enunciations if you want. I mean, there's a lot of configuring you can do on these things. Like I said, this one's set up for economizer also. And you can, this is where you would adjust the output on above or below capacity. Usually you want to be above 70%, 75, 80%, right around there. So that's all the control parameters menu. And another thing, you come over here. So if you call GEA, you have a question, the first thing he's going to ask you for is what version you're running, what software version. You come over here to panel info, and that's where it's going to tell you your program version and the IO coupler firmware version. They're going to ask for those questions because they're going to want to know if they've had bugs in the past, and then they're going to send you the link to update that. And once you have that link will always have the latest update from Omni, from GEA. You can click on it. They can update it tonight. You click on it tomorrow, it's going to have the newest one. So that's a good link to hold on to.
What's the minimum anti-recycle time, right, on those?
The minimum, let's see if you can actually change that, in the configuration with if you're logged into admin. I believe you can actually
So it's not
change.
accessible through service?
How far are you trying to get, David?
20 minutes is what it's gonna be defaulted at.
Yeah.
But if you have a drive, you don't really need an anti-recycle. It's on a drive. So you can start and stop that
Oh, yeah, like
basically
just
over and
start,
over again.
stop,
on a
start,
drive.
start.
Cross the line starter, you're gonna wanna wait your 20 minutes.
Yep.
I believe we log into admin, we can actually change that down. Let's actually try and see what the minimum is. I'm not sure what the minimum it'll let you do it to.
I've got like a false start or something, you gotta pay the line starting.
So right here, you can actually change the oil drain minimum timer. Also-
Recommend you guys doing that.
Yeah. almost really.
I know sometimes it sucks to wait 9 minutes, but if you try to start a screw that's full of oil, you're gonna know.
So right there, minimum motor start to start delay. Let's see if I can set that at 0. 1 minute. So if you have admin rights, you can blow up your motor. Let me put that back to 20 just in case somebody goes and puts this on and doesn't catch that.
So on service, it's not accessible, it would have to be an admin.
Yeah, you have to be an admin.
Okay.
Another cool feature of these, is how easy you can change the processor out. You should walk through that real quick.
Yeah, so it's real simple. I don't know if the door, let's turn this a little bit. You got processor, you just got some screws here, they're pushing pressure against it. Pulling it back into the thing, it's all plug and play. You got the IO, you got the USB from the outside of the panel. Do not have to open the panel, put your USB in. You also have another one where you can plug and drive into here in case you have an issue with this. And then this is the power to processor.
Literally take you like 15 minutes.
Yep. This is where the flash card is gonna be at. In there. So if you have an encrypted flash card, you can get into one of those also.
Those have been known to rattle loose and you can lose the screen. You'll just get a black screen. It may have a message on it, I don't remember.
Like the
But,
watchdog, I think.
Yeah.
I think it
and
says
you just-
watchdog.
You
Yeah.
can take that panel off, pull the card out, stick the card back in
And
and
this is where the battery. Go for you guys asking about losing your set points. Battery goes in. So, yeah, change, it's all plug and play, changing
What
this
type of
out
battery is it?
real quick. I
Cycle
believe it's
battery.
2032.
Yeah.
I would recommend
Yeah,
ground,
around.
looks like it's for.
Yearly, just change them out yearly.
To recommend it, right? So that
Yeah.
they change them all out just for backup.
Yeah, just change them out yearly. What I would do is before you change it though, is plug a USB drive in it, back up your configuration. To USB drive. Power down the panel, change the battery, power back up, upload your configuration.
Oh, and if you do change out the processor, you'll probably have to re-download the configuration.
Yep, you'll have to. That's why like these panels all come with a USB drive in them.
Right.
It's gonna have everything this panel came from GEA on it.
Okay.
When you're done setting this up, I like to do as a general practice, if we're doing a retrofit, I'll take this drive, I'll upload everything that I've changed onto this, to this drive, stick it back in the panel. That way, if you lose the configuration, have an issue, need to change your processor, it's on here.
That'd be another cool one to walk through too, is downloading. the
Downloading it,
configuration.
yeah, I can show you guys that too. Okay. So you go into File Manager, it actually shows like a little thumb drive, everyone can see, right? Little thumb drive here.
What are you gonna do? What are you doing?
Let's go, then you go into Program. And right here is where you can update and backup configuration. So right now there's nothing actually on it. We can back it up to the panel itself and to USB drive. So this just shows like the panel, you just back it up like that. Back that up. So then you would take the USB drive. Plug it in. It's gonna show it. See, shows USB drive version 1.743. That's what we just backed up on the panel. And then you have update configuration 1.1 because I have made a few changes here and there. So the configuration has changed since it came from GEA. And you would just click over here, you check mark the box. And then you would back up to USB drive. Same thing with the update. If you pulled a new configuration off of your laptop from GEA, you plug this in, you would see it pop up, you would click on it and you would press update. And you can also delete them. Don't recommend deleting them, but you can. Same thing here. This is for the software. This is already at 1.743. But if we had a different software version, you click mark it, you press update. And it's gonna do its thing. Basically goes through a complete restart. And then you would want to go into panel info. After you would do this update, you go to panel info. I'll show you where that's at. And then it'll show you the new, if I took the update,
Updated version.
yeah, it'll show you what version you're at. So you want to do that after you do an update, just to make sure that it took the update.
Phone's on in.
Somebody's getting.
So Cody, if I came, and I see my machine is hunting, what'd you look for?
Hunting on the slide valve.
Yep.
Look for calibration. And I would look at your dead band, torsional band. That's
What about
where
the pulse?
That's where I kind of start. The pulse of the solenoids.
Yep.
Default is set at 4 seconds. You'd look at that too, and then you can make adjustments to needle valves as needed. Like let's say a 4-second pulse and it's loading real fast. That's where you're gonna want to adjust your needle valves, maybe bump it down to a 1 or 2 second pulse. And then you go into panel info, and it would show your program version, 1.7.43. So unplug this, there's no eject button, nothing like that. There you go. Any other questions? Anybody want to come up and just play around with it? You're welcome to just play around with it. Yes, sir.
Talk a little bit about the vibration analysis.
Vibration analysis.
So this doesn't have onboard vibration.
Isn't that great?
Yeah, Frick has onboard vibrations.
Our compressors have the vibration analysis on the thrust bearings. So I think
Is
I
that
think
through,
that's
is
what-
that through the processor or is that through a separate system?
No, that's through the
It's
screen.
on the
We look at it through the screen
It's
on
on the
here
Omni?
to see the
Let's see what I
vibration
can-
sensor.
So, if I'm not mistaken,
I haven't seen onboard vibration on an Omni panel.
That must be like a program update or something that you can add in, because I
Yeah,
don't.
'cause we have the-
You
purchased
seen
that
one
way.
that has vibration?
Sensors on the thrust bearing
Check it every so often.
and other areas.
Make sure that it's within the parameter range.
You got two.
yeah, and around here, we would have the vibration. I'm not sure.
And if it's exceeding any of the
Well, one of them is
parameters,
vibration.
obviously,
So that,
you know.
That's the vibration.
Which
Find it on there,
which cloud are you from?
I'm trying to, but I didn't see it.
Midwest.
Yeah, that must be something you can add in with a program update.
Yeah, we have
I haven't seen
sensors
one.
I
that.
guess if Frick does it,
Yeah.
why doesn't GEA do it, you know, they probably do,
Oh, the machines were probably ordered that way.
yeah.
Yeah,
'Cause I haven't seen, I
Probably
haven't
something
seen
special,
onboard monitoring before.
probably something
Yeah,
special.
we have like 5 cents. Might be, but it's nice to have.
Oh,
I
yeah,
just didn't
no
really
doubt.
understand. I'm not really up on how, you know, the sensor configuration works for all that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just know I have to do a PM on it every so often and check it. What I wanted to know more about it, you know.
Oh, another cool thing that I learned at GEA school. So let 2AI, I'll show you 2AI is default, the temperature probes. They wire into 2AI, okay? That is a slice right here. They are labeled 2AI. That is actually a configurable slice. So you'd come into service here and you change out 2AI and you don't understand why you wired everything up and everything's just showing question marks still. Well, like what the heck's going on? Like, it's, you know, you click on 2AI and there's actually a button over here that says program.
Show him that.
And you can reprogram 2AI. Because if you order.
If
So
we
then,
supply you with a replacement slide.
yeah, if they if they supply you the replacement slice, it's not gonna be programmed. If you steal one out of another panel, it's already gonna be programmed. But if you order one from GEA, it's not gonna be programmed. You actually have to go through and press program and it will automatic program it for what is wired into it. Somehow in the algorithm, it knows that what it needs to program it for, but you would come click program, click that button, and it programs it, and all your question marks go
I got
away.
a question. Can you do that with any sensor or just that?
It's just 2AI. That's the only one that's a
Can you,
programmable.
let's say you want to
panel.
change a pressure transition for 4 to 20 or 5, 1 to 5, can you do that or not?
That's a good question, Louis, because I
You,
don't,
you would have to
think-
do it in configuration.
in configuration, you can't, I know you can't change the sensor ranges like you can with Frick though. Frick, you can put it to a
Voltage,
voltage, yeah, you can't on Omni.
Yeah, if we get all the Omni.
Yeah, because like a Frick, you can put it a 1 to 5, 0 to 10.
That's
you
like a
know.
good thing about the quantums.
Yeah, you can, they're
You
really
can do anything with it,
versatile.
and
But yeah, so 2AI is a programmable slice. If you get one from GEA, you're gonna have to press the program button. I ran into that problem when I was spinning circles, like, what the heck? Why is it not working? And then I ended up seeing the little button that says program, and I pressed it and it worked. So,
don't press more than one thing at a time.
over here, you'd go like in service, you press touch panel, and this is where you can clean the screen. So you can actually calibrate the screen, you can touch, you can wash it down. You can reset the service intervals. And you can add more commissioned files. I don't know what
What are you
reset
supposed to use to clean that screen
isopropyl alcohol.
and nothing else?
Yeah, you can just isopropyl alcohol, spray it on there, wipe it down. You want to be in wash down mode though.
Copy that.
It'll black out the screen and
Yeah.
they'll let you. do that. You got maintenance right here. This right here is where you can set your maintenance intervals. Check shaft seal, measure axial clearance, there's a pretty good sized list of maintenance intervals, and it'll actually send you a warning, like, hey, it's time to check that. If you want.
Where does it send the warning to?
Is send the
Just
warning
locally.
locally.
Okay.
This panel, they actually do have, let me go over here and find it.
Don't need a control system.
I think you can set it up to email you if,
Yeah, that's what I was getting to. You can set it up for emailing if you were running, you have Ethernet hooked to it, you can actually email you.
So.
Panel settings right there. So you go into panel settings and that's where you can set up email. And it'll email you warnings, shutdowns, things like that. So if you're at home and your compressor goes down, it'll send you an email letting you know that it went down. This in here is where also you would set up your communication. You can actually ping an IP address from this panel. So you're wanting to set up, let's say for Logix, for example, or an L Bradley control system, you have the IP address, you can ping it from here. And then when you're doing like a new system startup or a new panel, that way they know they have their address correct. Network, right here is where you would set up the IP, subnet, gateway, all that type of stuff. The protocols. Users, this is where you can add users with different passwords and change default passwords. That.
It's kind of a neat feature.
Localization, this right here is where you can change the screensaver timeout to longer. You can change the theme to indoor/dark or outdoor. Just where you set the date, the time, PSIG, or you can run bar. You can run all kinds of, and PSIA, you can run all kinds of different stuff. Defaults PSIG and Fahrenheit. Change it to Celsius if you'd like. You change the language. You guys want to play a game? I'll put it in Chinese. See if we can
that's
put it
something
back.
accessible through admin, though, right?
No, that's accessible through service too.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm gonna log into service here and then you guys can play with it. Oh, this is the Omni view. I think we already discussed this, but this is where you would see all your other compressors that are linked. Right now, this one's named Kemper Northwest stock, but you have, whatever you name your compressors, producer compressor 1, I say compressor 2, whatever, you can click on that. This machine is actually set up as a swing machine right now in the configuration. So right here, you have a low stage and high stage. You can change what application you're running. High stage and low stage. And I believe that it changes the functionality of the VI. Am I correct on that, Dan?
Yep.
Perfect. Well, come up here and mess with it. Or if anyone else has another question that I can answer for you.
Cool panels.
You should show them where the oil heaters are hooked up to.
Okay.
You did.
So Dan, what can you show you where guys with oil heaters are hooked up to? They hooked up.
Right now.
Yeah, right here. So you hook them up right in here. Okay, and each one of these contacts here.
Chapter, and we do appreciate your effort, and, even though you didn't know you were doing it.
No, I'm trying to. What you're doing.
So whenever one of those is pulled out.
You got a live sign today, boss.
I don't stay out, yes. I would put like a piece of paper in this bracket.
Oh, yeah.
To where it's still making
That's
contact,
because it's been hunting forever.
but like it's kind of stored in one of the terminals. And with this right there, you're gonna put a piece of paper that's right in there.
Oh.
Plug it in, it'll actually leave that. Yeah, this is the end card. This is what makes it certain, not gonna work out.
I was gonna get cold like. Yeah, about 10 fucking degrees out here.
It's supposed to be like 5, I read. The ones from the north too, so it's gonna be right down even more.
I ain't coming out for a long morning. When I leave here, I'm going home. I ain't coming back out.
What?
Yeah. This Auburn's ain't using this shit right here. I forgot that name of that movie. The Eighth Element. It's a movie where they were like some, they were stuck in a snowstorm in Wyoming. The Eighth Maleficent, something like that. And motherfucker came on side.
I prefer 70, not my.
Right, so it makes sense.
Sleep.
The Hateful Eight.
Oh, yeah. And that,
You remember?
I was thinking Western.
Yeah, yeah.
Why not?
I remember my man Kim. Yeah. Grab that motherfucking bear, fur.
I'm gonna stay. Shit again.
Yeah, so right here.
Okay, copy, yeah.
Like I said, there's so much stuff you can go through on these. I went to a week long school, which is probably expensive. And 106B is oh, 106 is new, 106A.
That whole side.
This whole side, these are all 24 These are the coil and these big like
Right.
24.
Right.
How you doing, Tony?
I work in Worry and you're not allowed to fire.
You gotta be an electrician.
No,
Yeah.
you have to have, you gotta at least be a.
On the other hand,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Borman. Yeah. You gotta get a
Are you
contract.
guys ready? Huh? Are you guys ready?
Yeah, we run. Yeah.
Went you down for like a month or something?
No, that was Borman West and Borman East.
Oh.
We ain't shut down. We can run. Cause we got the wetlands. So we gotta get shit east and west. Yeah, we gotta keep the pound moving.
Right, right. So the east and west is running now, or what?
Yeah. Well, we still run. We ain't never shut down.
Right. But you're
I
on
mean, they lay people off, but yeah, it's Borman East and Borman West was still running. And shit, we was still sending shit out. I mean, it's slow, but
Yeah, you got a job.
motherfuckers working. You know what I mean?
It's still that much.
Yeah, it's still getting a check. The old lady still ain't bitch. Well, I don't know. She might be bitching about this week. Them chicks hit.
Write that down.
Well, the same price of food, high as hell, man. Motherfucking eggs. You might as well buy 3 chickens. Feed them motherfuckers. You keep my lamb. You're better still.
Well, it's supposed to-
You get a damn hand for about $7 out here.
Picture, man.
Yeah, a fucking pack of eggs like $12 a damn dozen. She. But you pay $20, you get 3 little hands. Get your little rooster, let them let him hibernate, let him hit, let him hibernate. Babies.
So more than
Take a
likely,
minute,
vibration
yeah.
across this thing is the feature of the compressor itself.
Yeah, that's
And the sound or naturally, but, you know,
Yeah, it's been like 18 million chickens.
Yeah, yeah, Van Bird.
means,
Crazy.
Basically.
Bullshit going on right now.
Yeah, it's everywhere, man. Bullshit. I still don't see the gas prices go down. Mama keep going up every week. Ain't shit changed.
Yeah.
The rent still the same price. Hey, still the same. Shit. She don't take no minute. You sign a goddamn contract.
It's, yeah.
This shit don't take a minute.
Sign that contract, yeah. From 28 to 29. Yeah.
You need to start laying motherfucking.
They're bitching.
Yeah, you see, he make motherfuckers come back to work.
Hey, good evening, guys. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Next month, we could do an HD panel if you guys like. Same type of thing. Quite a few of you guys have HD panels. If you want to do that, we could do that. Or we can do anything else you want. SOPs. Has anybody got any suggestions?
Well, I'd kind of like to, at some point, doesn't necessarily have to be next month, but I'd like to see a breakdown and presentation on Danfoss modules.
Danfoss valves?
Yeah.
Okay, which ones?
Like the ICF block?
Liquid flow controllers, all that.
Okay,
We
Yep, we can do that.
Like a factory.
I mean, I know you wanna, that'd be great, set it up in advance, but.
yeah, we can do motorized control valve.
Yeah. Pretty cool.
We have the actuators and we have the controllers to do that.
We can get.
Well, I mean, they're common, they're just in mine, but probably in a lot of them, so.
Yep. Okay, I'll see what I can
know
do.
Some people's skill levels are higher than mine, but.
Not great.
See it.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
See you later.
See you.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. She and I.
Next one is what?
Just that they don't got in and not coming.
Yeah.
Hey, nice job.
There's a lot of shit going on. I just hope it gets better, like you said. There's a lot of people like no job, no money. But it's crazy. It's like, motherfuckers don't want to work. They got money for drugs, they ain't got no money, goddamn pay bills.
Hello, does anyone hear me?
They get fucked up. Every week, they get drunk, smoke weed and do it, man. They don't want to take care of your kids.
I've got a question here, if anybody.
That's the third day shit. They know this shit on one load themselves. Yeah, I just smoke weed when I was young. Let this shit go. That shit start fucking. That start doing it. I'm like, nah, that shit ain't. Shouldn't be no more.
Hello.
These driving work part, being work part, you know.
Is this seminar over with or what?
It went from a training when I started working at a warehouse. I was 20 years old.
I've got a question.
Everybody's. But I know that, right? So I said, fuck it. Everybody started drinking beer. Everybody started drinking beer.
Well, I wanted to know if there was any way that we can input SOPs into the HMI for quick view.
Or was I, or that what you said? Ice cream.
Thanks, guys. Outside of that.
Yeah,
I'm at.
Old man.
Hey, Cody, can you upload SOPs into these panels
I
with documentation?
don't know. Documentation, maybe, yeah.
And see a bunch of cigarettes.
Able to go into documentation.
Oh, and like the bottle, small liquor, Old English and Coke 45s. I don't even know how the hell I used to drink this shit.
Okay,
Like,
potentially.
like, I have a
Wonderful memory.
I see this shit now, this shit scares me.
Yeah. Oh, young, you know.
Yeah.
how that goes.
Oh, no, man, what, probably like ninth grade.
Really?
We was able to drive. And we'll pull up at the store, man, we'll get some crack, yeah, $20 and he'll buy some.
Yeah, I got 7 more years left.
We underage.
I think it was there.
2 years and 3 months, I was pretty close. I said 2 years.
They're like, hey, son, come here.
Well, I got like 48 years.
Hey, listen, went off. 3 old ladies and a pack of cigarettes and some motherfucking cigarettes.
Yeah.
What is that in for me? You gotta change. Yeah, cause,
I'm the one lottery, so I'm probably.
English 40-ounce cigarettes and a box of Phillies.
Yeah.
Cause then Paul English was like $1.40. So shit, he'll be pocketing it in about $15.
Yeah, you should reach out to.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody has to get something.
Yeah, but back cigarettes were like $5 back in the day. Well, cheaper, your era, but yeah. Yeah, cause gas for me was 75 cents in high school days.
Yeah.
It was $10, man, I had gas for,
Right.
hey, $10 right here. Crack my Friday and take me up the street like shit.
I know. No, I just live right there behind you. Oh, yeah, see, you see that wreck today?
Oh, but I took to the class.
Oh, yeah, I pulled out of the shop at like, I had a meeting at 3, but I left at like.
Everybody's trying to get
Everybody died? I don't know. They had like 4 staters there. So
I saw the glass.
the heat just shut down. What's that other road? They just need to go cut that thing out and make. Yeah. It's just, they hit that stoplight. Good.
We mentioned your name.
They don't realize how fast.
Did everybody sign the attendance sheet?
Yeah, I got it. I did.
Did anybody else want their hour sheet signed?
Yeah, dude, yeah.
Had issues getting.
It's only a matter of time. Kemper did fix this.
Man, you want a football yet?
Now you want to know a lot of the crap they have.
Oh, yeah.
Well, cheap, man.
Yeah.
No, that shit, right?
What time are you looking at?
I don't know, I got.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just put your